Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you all how I make this beautiful hair bonnet. It's 2-in-1 hair bonnet. You will love it. Now, the most challenging part for me was choosing the two fabrics that will fit. And that's what I'm trying to do here, So I brought a lot of fabrics and I'm trying to mix match it, to get what, to use. So once you sorted out what you're using, you are good to go. Trust me. My decision to use this fabric. So these are all the materials we'll be needing to make these two different beautiful type of trendy hair bonnet. So in combining this, I think I prefer going with this lighter ash and this purple. And for this style, we'll be needing a band. So this band I put on fold 3 inches. So by the time we open it, it will be 6 inches. And in this 6 inches, we already have our sewing allowance. So by the end of the day, we'll be having 2.5 on fold. And the length of this band is 60 inches all together. So we need this band for this, and we'll be combining these two fabrics together. The first measurement you need for this is actually going to be your head circumference, to measure the total round measurement of your head. That's about the only measurements you need. Very important. What I have here is 15 inches, 15 inches, and across here is 15 inches. I put it on fold, and you see, because we're going to cut round circumference of our hair. And the same thing we'll have here, 15 inches and 15 inches to put it on fold. And if you look at this fabric, you find out that I've already ironed it. Yes, preparation before you start sewing your fabric is key. Make sure to prepare your fabric very well to lay flat for you. So these are all we'll need for this. And again, right matching thread. These are the thread we'll use for this. And make sure to reel it, because when we're going to sew it, we're going to sew two fabric at the same time. So we don't want the color of this thread to be showing underneath this. So that is why the one that goes under, you have to reel it like this as well. Very important. Please don't forget that. So coming over to the second one, this is the fabric I finally decided to use. You guys, choosing fabric is not actually easy. Again, this one will be needing a band. We don't need elastic, so we'll be using this stretchy lycra fabric. This is measured 18. How to go about this is your the circumference of your head divided by 2, and then you minus 2 inches from it, or 1 inch, depending on the elasticity of the lycra fabric you are using. Okay, so if it's very stretchy, minus 2 inches, and you're good to go. Put it on fold, and then you'll be needing 8 inches. By the time we fold it in, it will be remaining about 4 inches on fold. Okay, so that is that about the band. I'll keep it aside. Thread, matching thread, very important. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to cut the circumference, and then we start sewing. We are going to mark our 15 inches round. Make sure you are starting from this point. From this point, place your hand on the 15 and rotate it round. It's quite easy. And then you mark out. After marking like this, we're going to cut out. Make sure the matching thread is the one on top. So now I'll start sewing. Okay, I'm done. So I'm leaving this space here, like I said, so that I'm able to turn it inside out of 2.5 inches space there, so that your hand can pass through, and then you'll be able to turn it inside out. So I'll be doing that now. Just put your hand inside, drag one part, okay, and then pull it out. Pull it all the way out. But I like to iron it first before I do that. Can you see? It's still open, so I'll go ahead, spread it out properly, and iron before I'll stitch, cover this place. I've ironed it now. Oh my god, it's laying so fat and beautiful. So I'm trying to cover that part now. Okay, I'm going to sew it down now. I would like to sew this band now, so I'm going to remove this thread, the one on top, and then let it be only black. So we're putting black on top and black down. Alright, so for our band, we're going to fold it into 2. We're going to sew and cover up this side. We're sewing down on 0.5. Okay, so when you turn it, it's going to be like this. Try to match it up here, and pin. You pin it in 4 different places. Now spread it and get to the midpoint on this side. Make sure it's the midpoint. Can you see? And then you pin again. Now afterwards, match it up again and open it up like this, so that we can get the next midpoint. So now we'll have our first strategic point on this headband. So now that we have pinned it down, we'll keep it aside, and then we come back to this so that we can pleat it. For us to do the pleats, you have to mark 1.5 inches round the hem of your round circumference, like I have done here. I hope you can see my markings, and I turn it so that I can be able to sew it on this black side so that you too can follow, because if I sew it on this side, you might not, the color will not reflect better. So because of that, I'm going to turn my reeler, put the black on top, and put this one beneath. I hope you understand why I'm doing this. Follow the markings and sew it down. Trust me, this is the best way I know you can do this. So this is going to be our guide, so follow me. Now we are going to pleat this. Now for a start, you may want to measure it, because you cannot actually determine the number of pleats that will be able to cover up your hair circumference, but you can always give it a try. So I'm going to be measuring 1.5 and pleat it in, and let's see what it can give us. So this is 1.5. So by the time I pleat 1.5 in like this, okay, I think it looks reasonable. So let's start with this. So you're going to be sewing it on that line. So this is the reason why we have to sew this down first as a guide. Make sure you're sewing it on that thread line, because now you can see it visibly. So you sew as you pleat. Another way you can do it is to pin them down, but make sure that you are eyeballing and everything is matching up same, like this. So this is what we'll be doing all around. So mate, this is another thing you can do. Pin it down like this. So you can see that the pin is actually helpful. And one thing you have to have in mind is that as you pleat, you have to measure the round circumference of your head. Make sure you don't exceed it. This pinning helps you at a point you have to measure. So now I've measured it, and this is exactly the round circumference of my head, and I've pinned everything to match it up. So now we finish up our sewing. So now we are done. You can now remove your pins and cut out your thread lines. This is how it looks on the inside. This is so neatly pleated. So now I've done it inside out. We are going to sew our hairband on it. Same thing that we did here. We are going to get the same 4 circumference on this place. So put it like this, pin here down. This matches up to be the next part. Pinning it down as well. So afterwards, we take it over like this again to get this other midpoint, and then we pin it down. Okay, now remember what we have already done here. We're going to do the same thing. So now we are going to pull this inside out. Just watch me carefully. Okay, now make sure that these 4 points matches each other. So I'll grab this point, make sure it kisses this part. I'll bring it on 8. We are sewing this down on 0.5. So make sure that the 0.5 is going to be on top of that sew line. Yes, keep it there. And you might want to repin it. So I'm removing 1 pin, and I'm pinning this to it like so. So now that we have the 4 points pinned down, we are going to sew it now. So I would like to also turn it like this so that I can still sew it on this sew line here. So at each point in time, you have to make sure that the 0.5 is aligning under as we sew. We are done with this first beautiful hair bonnet, guys. So remove your pins. Let's go rock it. You see, it's so neat and beautiful. So by the time we turn it inside out like this, this is what we have. Look at it. So now we're starting the second one. For that, you have to spray open this fabric. This is the right side of this fabric. Spread it open like so, and then we'll lay the purple one on top, just like we did in the other one. We have to slash open one side of this fabric because of the belt, the type of band we want to put in this one. So I'll come over here and I'll go in by 4 inches, mark it out like this, and we're going to slash it open. We are going to sew round it and then slash it open like this. And then you can pin it down before we go to the same machine. So I'm pinning it down now. I'll be sewing 0.5 round it, and then I'll continue sewing the round circumference of this, just like we did in the other one. That's all. We're going to leave small opening for turning it inside out. Let's start sewing the opening that we cut. So this is going to be the opening that we'll use to turn it inside out. Let's turn it over and go iron it. I would like to notch this part. Notch it very, very well. Turn it inside out. So the next thing is for us to go and iron it very, very well. and then we'll come and close up this part. Next thing we'll do is to sew our band. I want to get the midpoint of this band and mark it as a midpoint. Then the next thing is for you to measure your round head circumference divided by 2. Mine is 22, so I'll be marking 11 inches here. This is 11 inches. I'll mark it down. I'll notch this part. So what I'll do is I'm going to go and sew from here to the end part, and I'll turn it inside out. Now before I do that, I'd like to, slant the hem of my band. So from the edge here, just mark a diagonal line like this as you desire. I would like to repeat the same thing here to make it even. So I'll go and sew it down now. Then I sew this part. Now I'll trim off this edge. So flip it out. I'll do the same thing at the other side, and then I'll go and give it a good press. Also, mates, I've ironed it down and I've sewn the 1.5 inches already. I hope you can see that. Okay, so it's time for us to pleat. So first of all, we'll try the 1.5 again, and because it works for the first time, so why not? Let's use it. So we're going to pleat, maintaining that line. Okay, we already know how to do this by now, isn't it? So I'm going to do this as quickly as possible because I don't want this video to be lengthy. So I've already shown you how to do that. I'll go ahead now and pleat it, and then I'll show you. Alright, we're done here. So I'll remove the pins. Remember to measure up and make sure that you're getting a total of your round circumference. I've measured this one already and it's matching up pretty well. So now we turn it upside down. We turn it inside out like this. You bring in your band. Remember the place we notched is right here. We are going to start sewing from one end of the opening here. So I'll place it right here. Okay, just at the tip of the sew line that we have here. And I'm going to pin it down like so. And then I'll look for the other opening. It's right here. And I'll pin it here too. Alright, so for our band, remember the place that I notched. I've pinned it to this place. And let me tell you, pins are lifesaver. There is nothing else you're going to tell me. So you're going to use a pin and pin them down. Remember the line that we are sewing on. I'll go ahead now and sew them down. I'm going to turn it over like this so that we can maintain this exact line. You have nothing to worry because the pin is holding them. Alright, we are done. So we have it. Can you see how beautiful this is laying? This is so beautiful. So go ahead and rock your band any which way, okay? Okay guys, this is how this bonnet is looking. Can you see the fit is so beautiful? I hope you love it already. Like this combo combination, like the color or whatever, let me know. My goodness, it's so full and beautiful. I'm liking this color. What do you think about this? You can rock it anyhow, any way you feel like, okay? Go ahead and do yours. What are you waiting for? Alright guys, we come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.